I've shown a few ways to sharpen your scissors. I was doing some label making for my seeds, and this scissors does not cut for the life of it. So I have got a cheap Parkside Lidl sharpener here. I'm going to sharpen a few of these old scissors just to give you an idea if it actually works or not. So these scissors are barber scissors. They're meant to be for hair, but they obviously are not very good, so they've ended up in the garden for garden use. And normally we cut just plastic, papers, odd little small flowers, things like that with this. We have got garden shears, which I will also show you on this sharpening tool. So you'll see how I'm doing this. I'm basically sliding it along that little side panel which is designed for scissors and knives. And has this worked? Well, in the first run it did not work. So the first time, this is live by the way, as in real time, it's not sped up. You can see how long I spent there. So I gave it 2 passes, and on the second pass it was a little bit better. I've got a couple of other scissors here which I'm going to show you as well, just to see if these sharpening devices work. This sharpening tool is nice because it's smaller than the conventional spinning wheel. It's not as loud. You can put it away, you can have it in a tabletop, and I think I paid like £24 for this or something from Lidl. It wasn't expensive at all. And you can sharpen chisels, drill bits and scissors and knives for your kitchen. I'm mainly interested in sharpening these knives and the kitchen, so you can see now it does cut. So it's not excellent, as in not super razor sharp, but for the purpose that I need it for, it did sharpen the scissors, so it does work. You can see the unit here is a little rectangular shaped box. It's basically a spinning motor with a wheel on the outside, which is I feel like saying diamond tipped, but it's a grinding wheel. You get a spare one in the box as well. I'll show you the pamphlet for this at the end of the video, so if you have got this or you got it second hand and you don't have the guide, you can check that. So with the garden shears, you can use it for garden shears as well, and different types of tools. I'm unboxing here just to show you how it comes in the box. It's a cardboard box. The cable's fairly long, about 1.5 meters, 2 meters, so you can plug it into the wall and have it a little bit further away. There are some holes, so you can bolt it down to your worktop if you want to sharpen it. And here's a closer look at this now. So the scissors here, I've got a multitude of scissors that we use for gardening. They're very rusty, but as soon as I sharpen them, here you can see I'm just using that platform to get the right angle on it. And just sharpening it there, you can see the nice silver come out. So it has sharpened it, so it does do something. And you'd see in the earlier one the scissors did quite well in terms of they are cuttable now, whereas before they wouldn't cut. So overall, if you use it, you have to use it a couple of times, as in you have to do 2 or 3 passes. Don't push too hard on the grinding wheel. Push enough that you can hear it grinding, and maybe do some light passes, 2 or 3 light passes, and that will work for you. I'm quite pleased, it worked well for me. I haven't used a chisel bit yet. I might use a chisel bit attachment to see how it sharpens the chisel, but for scissors it didn't cut before. The scissors, you'll notice in my previous video where I was putting the labels on my seeds, I used these scissors and they weren't working. So now you can see it cuts paper nicely, and even it will cut through the plastic that you would normally use. Like I use old milk bottles to make labels for my seeds, and it now cuts through that nice and sharply. So you can see that here, a nice easy cut. And that plastic tends to be a little bit thicker, so the scissors are handling it quite well. I did give it another pass, just a light pass, to get rid of any options on there, such as like burr. I've done a couple of other videos where I use sandpaper to actually sharpen, and that's a nice neat trick if the scissors are just a little bit dull. But if they're completely blunt, you want to use something like this to reshape and basically take a bit of material off and get a bit of the rust off to make these usable again. I will try garden shears on this as well, which I don't think will work, but we'll see what happens with that. With the garden shears, it's a little bit more dismantling it and taking the blade element out and sharpening that. So here you can see this works very nicely now. I can take out little sections which these scissors did not cut before, so it has got its purpose. It does cut now. And garden shears, so I had to dismantle the garden shears to take the element out with the blade on, because I couldn't fit it into that little section. So I unscrewed the screw, took it out. It didn't work as well on the garden shears because it has a blade which is like a bevel edge, so I wasn't able to mimic that without taking the whole thing apart. I had to get a Phillips screw. I could have done that, but here's a quick look at that just to show you that it can work. Just be very careful with it, don't push too hard. You can see it's got the light edge on there now, and there's a top section as well just to get the bevel on there. but I don't think I should be using that. It just dulls the blade a little bit. However, overall it seems like a nice option if you are looking to sharpen your gardening tools, and it will work quite nicely for you, especially if you've got some scissors, knives, and maybe some odd bit of sharpening that needs to be done. I'll show you a few close-ups of this just to see how this worked out. And overall you can see it's just trying to find the right angle on here. And this is from Lidl, and it's a sharpening station. Parkside is the brand, and you're looking to pay anything between $20 £20 up to £25. So I'll finish this off and let you view this and see what you think about it.